Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to explore how customer journey mapping can help you identify the highest value Gen.AI opportunities for your organization. Instead of randomly experimenting with the AI or adding chatbots everywhere, we'll use journey maps as a targeting system to find where AI can actually solve real customer problems and deliver measurable business value. By the end of this session, you'll have a practical framework you can use immediately with your team. Let's start with the basics. A customer journey map is a visual story of how a customer moves through stages to reach a goal with your product or service. It captures what they do, what they think, and how they feel at each stage, from discovery through to getting help when they need it. For Gen.AI specifically, the journey map becomes your targeting system. It shows you where AI can generally help, not just where you can technically add a bot, but where it will actually make a difference. Here is why mapping first matters. On the left, you see what happens without a journey map. Scattered AI experiments, chatbots searching for problems to solve, and no clear way to measure impact. A real example is a company launched a chatbot on their homepage. It got 3% engagement and unclear value because it wasn't solving a real problem. On the right, with the journey map, you're aiming AI at actual pain points. You get clear business and customer outcomes, and prioritization becomes much easier. Same company, different approach. They targeted an assistant at their sign-up step where 40% of users were dropping off. Result, 25% reduction in abandonment. That's the difference mapping makes. Before you start mapping, get the right people in the room. You need product, they own customer outcomes and roadmap priorities. Engineering to assess technical feasibility and integration complexity early. Support and customer success. They bring frontline insights about where customers actually struggle. Data teams to confirm you have the data needed to power AI solutions. And business stakeholders to validate ROI and resource allocation. Why all these people? Because if you map it in a silo, you'll identify great ideas that turn out to be technically impossible. Or you'll miss critical pain points that only support sees every day. One tip, if priorities conflict, use the persona's goal as your tiebreaker. Here is our 7-step workflow for today. First, set clear objectives and pick one persona. Second, review the research and data you already have. Third, define the main journey stages. Fourth, list touch points and channels at each stage. Fifth, map actions, thoughts, and emotions. Sixth, mark the top pain points and opportunities. And seven, tag Gen.AI candidates that could address those pain points. This framework is designed to fit into a 60-minute discovery session with your stakeholders. You can run this process across different products, personas, or business units. Just swap the persona and objective in step one. It's repeatable, scalable, and gives you consistent outputs every time. Let's walk through each step. Step one, define why and the who. Choose one clear outcome for this mapping session. Don't try to solve everything at once. For example, reduce onboarding drop-off, speed up time to first value, or improve self-service success. Then pick a single persona. Here we have a new data analyst whose goal is to get their first dashboard live. They have limited time but a strong technical background. This focus is critical because you'll evaluate every Gen.AI idea against this specific persona and objective. Does it help this person reach this goal? If not, it's out of scope. Step two, gather what you already know. Look at 4 key resources: interviews and support tickets. What customers say? Chat and call transcripts, where they struggle. Analytics and funnel data, where they drop off. And logs, queries, and errors, backend friction points. Here is a critical insight. These same sources become your Gen.AI fuel. They power RAG for knowledge bases, summarization for support triage, and agentic reasoning for automated workflows. Also capture baseline metrics now. Current time to value, support ticket volume, completion rates. You'll need later on to measure Gen.AI impact. Step 3. Define the main stages. Name them from the customer's point of view, not yours. So discover instead of marketing funnel, or get help instead of support ticket resolution. Keep it to 5 to 7 stages so the map stays readable. As you label stages, note where complexity or confusion tends to spike. Those are your Gen.AI candidate zones. Step 4. Map where interactions happen. For each stage, list the key touch points, welcome emails, setup wizards, documentation pages. Then note the channels, email, web app, mobile, documentation site. Include both digital and human touch points. A phone call with support is just as important as an in-app message. What does it matter for Gen.AI? Because these touch points are your potential surface for AI experiences. An assistant in product, a smarter search in docs, or internal copilots for your support team. Step 5. Bring the journey to life with 3 layers. First, actions. What customers actually do. Uploads data file. Second, thoughts, their questions, doubts, expectations. Did that work? What's next? Third, emotions. Sketch an emotional curve showing highs and lows. Here we see uncertainty. This is where Gen.AI signals become obvious. A spot with high confusion, lots of questions, and cognitive load. Those are prime candidates for AI assistants. If you see a customer thinking, I don't understand this step, or what should I do now? That's where conversational AI, contextual guidance, or intelligent suggestions can help. Steps 6 and 7. Prioritize pain points and tag Gen.AI candidates. Mark your top pain points based on impact, both customer impact and business impact. For each pain point, ask 3 questions. Do we have data or content to power AI? If you don't have documentation, transcript, or logs, RAG won't work. Second, is there complexity or repetitive interpretation involved? AI excels handling ambiguity and patterns. And finally, will an AI improvement be meaningful here? Sometimes a simple UI fix is better than AI. Here's an example. Pain point, setup wizard is confusing, many drop off. Opportunity, provide step-by-step guidance. The Gen.AI idea, contextual assistant that explains each step and suggests defaults based on user profile. Capture 1 to 2 Gen.AI ideas per top pain point. Don't overthink it yet. You'll filter this next. Before you get too excited about an idea, run it through these feasible filters. Data availability. Do you have the documentation, transcripts, or logs? Is data accessible via API or object storage? Is quality sufficient for training or RAG? Second, integration complexity. Green means low. API exists, standard patterns. Yellow means medium. Custom integration, some refactoring. Red means high, major architectural changes. Third, performance requirements. Interactive use cases needs sub-second performance. Async like email responses can take up to 30 seconds. Batch processing can take minutes. If you see red flags here, either deprioritize idea or scope it down to a proof of concept. These checkpoints saves you from identifying great ideas that are technically impractical. Now let's connect pain points to Gen.AI capabilities. If customers can find answers in docs, unique RAG, or knowledge bases for semantic search with citations. For repetitive guided workflows, AI agents or assistants that provide step-by-step guidance with context. In the case of content safety or compliance concerns, implement guardrails to filter PII, block harmful content, enforce policies. In the case of complex reasoning tasks, use frontier LLMs like Claude, GPT-5, or Gemini for log analysis, solution suggestions, and error explanations. For document understanding, embeddings plus vector search for semantic search, classification, and clustering. Proactive outreach or re-engagement. Use combined LLMs with marketing automation for churn detection, personalized nudges, automated campaigns. Then we have automated content generation, where we use LLMs with workflow orchestration to generate emails, reports, summaries at scale. Complex multi-step orchestration requires agentic workflows for complex processes with human-in-the-loop approvals. At the bottom, you'll see common cloud services patterns across AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure. The key is matching the AI capability to the cognitive task, whether it's conversational, proactive, or automated. Now, which model should you use? For complex reasoning, you have three frontier options. GPT 5.2 from OpenAI, the reasoning and speed leader, excellent general purpose model. Claude Opus 4.6 from Anthropic, best in class for coding with 77% on the SWE bench. Handles 200,000 token context. Gemini 3 Pro from Google, massive 2 million plus token context window, strong multimodal capabilities. Now, for flexibility and control, we have open source models. Llama 4 from Meta, multimodal generalist with mixture of experts architecture. Then we have Mistral Large 3, which helps with coding and RAG specialists with 256,000 contexts window, and Apache 2 license. We also have DeepSeek R1, advanced reasoning, and very popular with 75 million downloads. Now, we also have embeddings and semantic search, with the latest models being NVIDIA NV Embed V2, state-of-the-art retrieval performance. Qwen 3 embedding is also a high-quality multilingual. OpenAI Text Embedding 3 large, reliable general-purpose model, and Cohere Embed V optimized for enterprise search. Now, match task complexity to model capability. Check context window needs, consider cost per token, latency requirements, and whether you need cloud or on-premise deployment. Let's see how this flows from pain point to architecture. Let's take the pain point is setup wizard is confusing, 40% drop off at step 3. The Gen.AI solution is a contextual assistant that explains each step and suggests defaults. Here is a cloud agnostic architecture. In the front end has an in-app chat widget. Then you have an API gateway handling REST API for chat interactions. In the backend, you have serverless functions that provide orchestration and business logic. AI agent services deliver conversational AI with action handlers. Vector database or RAG system holds knowledge base over setup documentation. Object storage stores user context and conversational history. NoSQL database manages session state. The integration points are your existing user profile API for personalization, setup wizard state API for context-aware guidance, and analytic events for measuring impact. At the bottom, you will see how this maps to specific services on AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure. The pattern is the same, only the service names change. Now, with all this information, well, the next step is to score your Gen.AI ideas across 5 dimensions. The first one, feasibility. So you have data availability, integration complexity, technical dependencies, and your team capabilities. Second is the impact. And this one is about customer pain severity, business value like revenue or cost savings, volume of users affected, and measurability. Then you have AI fit, and we are answering, does it benefit from reasoning or summarization? Does it require natural language understanding? Does it handle ambiguity better than rule-based approaches? Now, our fourth category is risk and compliance. This is a must-pass gate, not a score. Green means low risk, no PII, standard use case. Yellow means medium, handles sensitive data, requires guardrails. And red means high, regulated industry, high stakes decisions, extensive compliance review needed, and if it falls into the red flag, require legal or compliance sign up before you proceed. Finally, is adoption effort. How much user behavior change is required? Training and change management needs. Stakeholder buy-in complexity? Rollout and communication effort? Use this to identify quick wins. High impact, low complexity, good data, low risk, easy adoption. Or strategic bets, high impact, medium complexity, manageable risk, and requires investment. And those that you need to deprioritize. Slow impact, very high complexity, high risk, or difficult adoption. Pick your top 1 or 2 ideas that pass risk gates and balance impact with feasibility. Now, how do you know if it worked? Start with baseline metrics you captured during journey mapping. Time to first value, task completion rate, support ticket volume, user satisfaction, or drop-off rates at key stages. Add Gen.AI specific metrics. The AI interaction rate. What percentage of users engage with AI? Or the resolution rate. What percentage of queries are answered successfully? You can also have deflection rate. How many support tickets did you avoid? User feedback on AI responses, cost per interaction, and measure approach. Do A/B tests where possible, before and after comparison with a control group. Collect qualitative feedback. Monitor for 30 to 60 days post-launch. And so here is an example of success criteria. 20% reduction in setup wizard drop-off. 30% decrease in how do I support tickets. And under 10-cent cost per AI interaction. What you'll have after this workshop? Well, it's a complete customer journey map. Top 3 to 5 pain points identify and prioritize. 2 to 3 Gen.AI candidate ideas with feasibility scores. Baseline metrics capture. Stakeholder alignment on priorities. Here is the practical value. You can run this exact framework in a 60-minute discovery session with any product team. The outputs are consistent and actionable. Once you have done it for one persona or product, you can replicate it across your entire portfolio. Same process, different context. This makes it easy to build a pipeline of Gen.AI opportunities across your organization. Prioritize them centrally and allocate resources strategically. Next step is to define a timeline. Week 1 to 2, do a deep dive. Technical feasibility assessment, data audit preparation, architecture design, and cost estimation. Now, on week 3 to 4, do a POC development. Start building minimal viable prototype, integrate with existing systems, and do internal testing and iteration. As we move to week 5 to 6, you're going to start doing a pilot. You're going to roll out to a limited user, collect feedback and metrics, refine based on learnings. And finally, when you get to week 7 and beyond, scale or pivot. Expand to broader audiences if successful. Iterate on lower performing ideas and plan your next Gen.AI opportunity. Now, quick note on common mistakes to avoid. Don't map the ideal journey. Map reality, words and all. Don't skip research and rely on assumptions. Ground everything in real data and customer quotes. Don't make the map too detailed. Keep it high level and actionable. Don't pick Gen.AI ideas before understanding pain points. Let the pain drive the solution. And don't ignore technical feasibility until too late. Check it early and often. To wrap up, customer journey mapping isn't just a design exercise. It's your strategic tool for finding where Gen.AI can deliver real value. Map first, then choose AI. Aim at pain points, not at technology for its own sake. Validate feasibility early. Measure impact rigorously. The companies winning with Gen.AI aren't the ones with the most AI features. They are the ones solving the right problems for the right customers at the right time. Use this framework with your team, and you'll move from random AI experiments to target solutions that customers actually need and use. Thank you so much, and I will see you in another video.